This September the 24th Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code MLB SGPN. Welcome everybody to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, September the 23rd. We are here to handicap a full slate of MLB action for Wednesday, September the 24th. Joining me for back-to-back episodes is Mr. Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, how the hell are you?
I'm doing well, coming off a good day. Only 3 games yesterday, but the over hit in all 3. So we're doing
nice.
Good. Yes.
I went 2 and 3, so I was all right. Take that little bit of profit. I tell you what, I realised earlier on, D-Rock, when I was making my notes, that tonight is my last regular season show for 2025.
Oh, wow.
I know, yeah, because I'm not on the roster for the rest of the week. So I was partly delighted because it's a lot, isn't it? But also I was like, oh shit, like if that happened, and you said on the show last night it had gone really quickly.
Yeah, it went by so quick. And I think my last day until we started talking about playoffs, I think my last day is Thursday. So yeah, time's flying when you're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely is. So we'll try our best. I think there's 6 games of tomorrow's 15 currently off the board, which makes sense because there's a lot of unknowns in terms of pitches. It's that time of year where the teams who've got nothing to play for will just roll anybody out there or a rookie or call someone up. And obviously the Tuesday night games, there was no day sport today. Nothing as yet underway. I'll just check that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing going on as yet. So I think the books are probably being extra cautious. There's a couple of spots on this card where actually I'd want to see Tuesday's result before I made a play on Wednesday. But we'll come to that when we get there. Adrian was first in the chat. Adrian hit the Padres last night. He fancies the Padres and the Dodgers to get the job done this week. Welcome along. If you are in the chat, there's a few other people lurking. By all means, say hello and give us your picks. We'll get on to the first game on this card. Let me tell you to check out the SGPN app in your app store for easy access to all of our free picks and props. And Wednesday, September the 24th, kicks off with one really early game here, 12:15 Eastern. It's the Washington Nationals at the Atlanta Braves. Washington throw left-handed pitcher Andrew Alvarez. Bryce Elder will go for the Braves, who are minus 185 favourites. The Nationals are plus 155, and the total is at 9. Atlanta flying still. They were one of the 3 teams that did play on Monday night, up their winning streak to 9 games. They did lose Ozzie Albies. Ozzie Albies fractured a bone in his hand, so I think that's going to be the end of him for the season. Andrew Alvarez has had 4 starts, 2 decent at home, but the 2 on the road, he's given up contact and runs, 14 hits and plenty walks total 14 hits and walks in 8 innings pitched. Bryce Elder starts have been really good, bar 1 against Houston. He's held Philadelphia, he's held the Cubs, he's held the Tigers to 1 run or fewer, all in the span of the last 5 starts. And we did mention last night that Atlanta had won 8 games, averaging 7.6 runs per game. Well, they made it 9, and they scored another 11 runs doing so. So I can't get away from that Atlanta run line, but also I think the Atlanta team total is fairly safe. They're putting up 6, 7, 8, 9 runs every night, Dylan.
Yeah, the Braves are red hot right now. They've won 9 of their last 10. They won again last night. Don't want to lay the huge number with Bryce Elder, if I'm being honest. Even at home, he's actually worse at home this season than on the road. But I probably would take a Braves team total over. They've scored 6+ runs in 5 straight games. The over is 4-1 in those 5 games as well. And I honestly think the Nationals can get a few runs off of Elder as well. He just got rocked in his last start versus the Astros. So, yeah, I think the Braves win again. High scoring game. I like the over as well. You said it's at 9. My total came out to 9.5. I like the full game over. I like a Braves team total over. They're on fire right now.
Keon Neon and Jason have joined us in the chat. I feel like I owe Keon an apology because I tailed you. I think it was you, Keon, last week, the Texas Rangers pick. And I tailed you the night after, and then they didn't win a game since. So you can have that one on me. I'll buy you a pint. Keon's asking me what I think he thinks the Vikings will do in between Dublin and London the following week. I think they'll just get to London as soon as possible, set up training camp, and then have a bit of a good time in London for a few days. But yeah, that would be my reading of that. Is Gio joins us as well.
Are you doing a show Sunday morning?
I haven't spoke to Baz about it, actually. I'm going to speak to Baz. We're doing the Premier League show tomorrow. It crept up on me. I wasn't aware it was this soon, actually. It's not normally later in the year. Sort of week 6, 7, 8 sort of thing.
Well, since there's now more international games, they're doing it earlier in the year.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, that did take me by surprise. So me and Baz will try and throw some kind of nonsense together. 4:10, we've got a little matinee card here. The San Diego Padres host the Milwaukee Brewers. Quinn Priester for the Brewers. San Diego TBD, but I think it's Dylan Cease. Haven't seen any lines on this game with the TBD for the Padres. The Padres did clinch their playoff place last night with a walk-off, so congrats to them. D-Rock, anything for this?
Yeah, no lines, but I do think it is Dylan Cease as well. You mentioned Padres just clinched the playoff spot last night, so they're in. And to be honest, I would argue that they're playing better baseball right now than the Brewers. But the one thing the Brewers have is Quinn Priester's win streak. And I actually think they care about it, if I'm being honest. And they want to win for him. 19 in a row. He's only allowed more than 2 runs one time in his last 6 starts. And the last time the Brewers lost a road start was May 24th for Quinn Priester. We just saw Dylan Cease give up 4 runs in a loss to the White Sox. And for whatever reason, the Brewers just find ways to win for Quinn Priester. So depending on the number, I probably would take the Brewers because I expect them to be a dog on the road. But yeah, I probably would take the Brewers just to get plus money.
Yeah, I think you have to take the Brewers, don't you? As gamblers, I mean, 6 is largely okay, but he is hard to take on the road. 5.58 ERA, but also he's got a 1-9 record. And as a gambler, that sort of thing that you factor in, you just want to stay away from that. And since we got onto this, since we realised the streak Priester had going on this show, I think he was on about 12 maybe when we first noticed it 5 or 6 weeks ago. And I do think they care about it because why not? It's a fun thing. And the game, what's it up to 19 now in a row? That's absolutely nuts that Priester has started. Some sort of witchcraft. It has been our favourite trend. And I think if he's won that many, then he earns the right for us to put our money on him again this time. So I would take the Padres here in this spot. 6:35 Eastern is the Tampa Bay Rays at the Baltimore Orioles. It is Shane Baz for the Rays taking on Tyler Wells of Baltimore. This is a match on the books. It is -110 each of 2 with the total set at 8.5. Tight, obviously. The books can't split them. Shane Baz, if you look at his season numbers, splits, it's quite even, like his home road splits. But recency, he's not been. There's been a big home run split guy lately. And he's not been as good on the road at all. He's been very poor in his last 6 road starts. Tyler Wells has been good in his 3 starts so far. The Orioles have won all 3. They get Adley Rutschman back for a few games towards the end of the season, which make a little difference to them too. I prefer Wells over Baz on recent form, so I will take Baltimore home advantage too. Orioles at -110. Dylan.
Yeah, I see -108s out there, so shop around. But I agree. I'm going to be on the Orioles here at home. Small sample size, but Tyler Wells has looked good in just 3 starts for the Orioles. They're 3-0 in those 3 starts. He's only allowed 4 runs in 17 innings. He doesn't walk batters. I think he's good, and I think he has a good chance of limiting Tampa Bay in that offense. And to be honest, I've never really been a Shane Baz guy. He's been better in September. I'll give him that, but he's a little too inconsistent for me to back. I made him a minus 130 favorite, so I think we're getting a really good number here with Baltimore. I think this is a good spot for them. So, yeah, I'm going to be on the Orioles as well.
Okay, nice little team ride on that one. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on football and everything else. The prop builder is second to none. Motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. 6:40, we go to the big series of the week. It is the Tigers at the Cleveland Guardians. Jack Flaherty starts for Detroit. Cleveland will throw Tanner Bybee. And our slight favourites here, minus 120. Detroit plus 100. Totals 7.5. D-Rock, where you going?
Yeah, I actually made the Guardians a favorite here at home. Tanner Bybee, he doesn't have the best home record, but batters only hitting 225 off of him in Cleveland. He's been amazing versus Detroit as well this year. 2-0. He's only given up 1 run in 13 innings. He's the better pitcher between him and Jack Flaherty. Flaherty's just not someone I could back. He's bad on the road. He's inconsistent. And Tigers have lost 7 of his last 9 starts. And not to mention, he's 0-2 versus Cleveland team. They have his number. Cleveland has the better starter. They have the better bullpen, top 5 bullpen in the league. They're the hotter team. I can't back Jack Flaherty ever. For the last 2-3 months, I just haven't been able to back him. And usually he's the favorite, but, I'm going to take the Guardians here.
There was a point early summer where the Guardians were 15.5 games back of the Tigers. If they manage to turn it around this week, it'll be the biggest deficit to overcome since 1969. Flaherty's last 2 starts give you a little bit of hope. They've been all right. 5 innings, 1 earned run against Cleveland last week. However, they still contrived to lose the game 4-0. Because outside of Tarek Skubal, Detroit's starting pitching ERA is 5.48 over the last 48 starts. So absolutely miles off it. Bybee's been great. 21 2/3, 3 earned runs with 21 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. And I can only keep taking Cleveland. This is one of the couple of games. There's another one later on. I think it's the Giants, where I would like to see what happens tonight, particularly because if Cleveland win tonight comfortably against Tarek Skubal, then you know that that Detroit will absolutely be feeling the pressure. Cleveland are having the best offensive month of the season, by the way. 3rd in MLB, 106 WRC plus. So the ticks in all the boxes for the Guardians. Minus 120 is an absolutely fair price. Really nice pitching matchup, 6:40 Eastern, between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. Paul Skeens for the Pirates takes on Hunter Green of the Reds. This is close on the books. Minus 105 Pittsburgh. Minus 115 Cincinnati. Total here is 7. I stopped handicapping this pretty quickly, Dylan, after realising we handicapped an almost identical matchup last week. We faded Paul Skeens against Cade Horton of the Cubs. Similar prices. We were right to do so. Skeens didn't actually pitch brilliantly last week. We handicapped him as if he would pitch okay, but he wasn't as good last week. But this game is no different to that game in that Hunter Green's been outstanding, particularly at home. He threw a complete game shutout against the Cubs last time with 9 strikeouts. Now, you could fade him off that, maybe on an ordinary weekday game, but not in this point of the season. Cincinnati are fully focused, wildcard race, hold the tiebreaker over the Mets. I think Cincinnati are a great price here. And also, they're considerably better than Pittsburgh, just as a baseball team. It's the presence of Paul Skeens that puts Pittsburgh in this match. But other than that, there's nothing else to recommend them. No problem with taking Cincinnati, Dylan.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be on Cincinnati here as well. My numbers actually made him a minus 135 favorite. I get it. Paul Skeens is going, but let's not act like he hasn't struggled a little bit on the road. Even in the chat, he has looked tired as well. He's lost back-to-back starts. He doesn't look good against the Cubs in his last start. And I personally think Hunter Green has been better as of late. He's been nails at home. He's only given up 2 runs in Cincinnati in the last 28 innings at home. And I just have a hard time seeing the Pirates produce any runs in this spot. Green already threw 7 scoreless innings versus this Pirate team earlier in the year. There's nothing that makes me think different right now. Reds are the hotter team. They got to keep winning to get into the playoffs, and I think they will. So, yeah, I like the Reds a lot here tomorrow.
Okay. Jason pointing out that Skeens looks a little bit tight, and they've been pulling him slightly earlier in games as well. So I don't mind the Reds getting into that Pittsburgh bullpen. 6:45 Eastern, the Miami Marlins are at the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 left-handed pitchers go here in Ryan Weathers for the Marlins and Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies. Plus 175 Miami, minus 212 Philly. Total, Dylan, is 8.5.
Yeah, Philly's a huge favorite here, and I get it, but I probably would take the over instead of a side. I mean, my total came out to 8.9. As good as Jesus Luzardo has been, he does give up his fair share of runs. 4.50 ERA at home. He's given up 4 runs in back-to-back starts, and 2 of those 3 starts versus the Fish this year went way over this number. So I think he's prone to give up a few runs here at home. Meanwhile, Ryan Weathers on the other side, he's given up 3+ runs in 3 of his 4 starts as well. So I think both teams are very capable of producing some runs here. So I think we see a high scoring game. I know Miami's a really hot team right now, but Philly should win this game. But I'd rather back the total. Give me the over.
I've come up with a big boys bet here, the sort of bet that I've learned off you and Scott and Lonte and everybody else over the years. Ryan Weathers, I don't mind him. I quite like him, but he's starting to find his level. His numbers are starting to flatten out now. He's had 7 starts. He's faced pretty easy opposition as well. And he looks vulnerable to me against some of these Philadelphia lefty crushers. Luzardo has just been allowed to pitch. He's been allowed to pitch deep into games, even though he gives up a few here and there. Philadelphia have just been outscoring the Oppo and putting Luzardo's been putting Philadelphia in a position to win these games. So my pick, he's got a 14-7 record, D-Rock. Luzardo to record the win is going to be my pick because he goes plenty long enough. Yeah. We're expecting him to be 3, 4, 5 runs ahead. So he can pitch 6 2/3, he can pitch 7 innings. He'll come off with a win, up his record to 15-7. That's a good angle for what he's been doing. So yeah, Luzardo to record the win is going to be my big boy play on that one. Next up, 7:05 Eastern. This game is off the board. The Chicago White Sox have a TBD pitcher against the New York Yankees, who will throw left-handed pitcher Max Fried. I didn't think it was going to be Martin Perez going for the White Sox, D-Rock. Did you have an angle in on that at all?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Tyler Alexander, honestly, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it might be a bullpen day if it isn't Martin Perez. I saw him yesterday, but things get changed every couple hours. And what I've realized when we're recording and there aren't lines, usually there's a pitching change going on and they add the pitcher late and it's never who we handicap. So that's what I've come to realize. But I mean, if it is a bullpen day, I really don't want to back Tyler Alexander either. I mean, Max Fried has been going well recently for the Yankees. They should win this game, so I probably would take them. And they don't really hit lefties all that well. We've seen a really nice bounce back September for Max Fried. I mean, August and July were really bad for Max Fried. He was over a 5 ERA in both of those months. Come back against, I would say, 3 good teams: Astros, Blue Jays, and the Red Sox. He's produced 3 really good starts, and then he just pitched 7 scoreless on the road against Baltimore. So he's had a really good September. I just find it hard to believe that the White Sox, who have nothing to play for, are going to really be getting up to play in this game.
Yeah, Fried has been great. I mean, we did like Yankees in this home series. It looks like a nice home stand for them. They're going to put themselves in a position to take advantage should the Toronto Blue Jays blow up at all. The Yankees have won 5 games in a row that Fried has started by an aggregate score of 34-9, all run line wins. And I just don't see why that would change here. So yeah, Yankees on the run line, but I wouldn't be doing much else on this without knowing the White Sox pitcher. Aaron Judge is 1 home run short of his 50th. There's an angle in D-Rock. So if you're looking for one of your 3 players to hit a home run later on, one of them needs it. So Aaron Judge can get to 50. D-Rock, can you answer this for me? Because Keon Neon is asking about betting on the awards, the Cy Young Awards and the MVPs and stuff like that. You know that these kind of thing doesn't really get on my radar. Like, so last night they held the Ballon d'Or Award, which is the Footballer of the Year, global award, all the in soccer. And Bob wanted to watch it, and Bob's mates wanted to watch it. And I just didn't give a shit. Like, who wins football is whoever scores the most goal and you win the trophy. That's what individual awards just never, ever got on my radar. And I feel that it's a cultural thing. Maybe it's a generational thing.
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah, guy, you're all right. You just called me an old fucker there. No. Fair enough. Yeah, it's fine, Dylan. It's fine. It's my last show. I'll just scuttle off on my rascal and go and get someone to wipe the potato off me chin, shall I? So yeah, anyway, you can answer Keon Neon's question. Any take on those award things?
I personally don't like betting on them, but I guess from my point of view, my dad doesn't like betting on because he's a big hockey guy. He doesn't like betting on awards either. And I've realized that's like an older than my generation age. Whereas people in my generation, they love betting on Cy Young. They love betting on MVP. They love betting on Manager of the Year. Like I personally don't care, but I'll watch it. But I really don't care. And I feel like most of these awards are all voted by biased writers. And me and Scott have talked about this at length a couple months ago, where it's kind of set in stone who's going to win. Like, everyone knows Paul Skeens going to win Cy Young. Tariq Skubal's going to win Cy Young. Shohei's going to win MVP. The AL MVP is actually up for grab. Hopefully Cal Raleigh wins, but it'll probably be Aaron Judge. But I don't know. I don't like the awards where we know who's going to win. There's real no anticipation. I want something that's filled with drama, like the AL MVP. Who knows who's going to win? Right now, it's -115 both ways. So I don't know if there's any insider trading or whatnot, but I just know that there are a lot of biased writers that wind up casting their votes.
Fair enough. Booted Blaine in the chat. Sounds like he's blaming you for his girlfriend having a horrible birthday, Dylan. So, but I don't know if you've won him some money or lost him some money one way or the other, or if indeed you know Blaine. But she's getting some flowers now anyway. So that's not a problem.
Hey,
Welcome along, Blaine.
Here's a trick. Whole Foods flowers. I don't know if you have Whole Foods
what?
you. Whole Foods. It's like a shop, right? It's like a supermarket.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's like a Trader Joe's, but Whole Foods has really good, cheap flowers. You'll be all right.
There's very often some just tied to a lamppost by the main road around the corner from where I live that you can just take for free. So I just use them sometimes. If you didn't get that, that was a joke about car accidents. But, Dylan never, ever, ever gets my jokes.
That went way over my head.
It went so far over your head. Normally one person in the Spotify comments manages to give me a thumbs up. I do keep doing them. And if I get one comment. The Hungry Caterpillar joke last week went down a storm on Spotify, Dylan. I still don't know if you thought that was a joke or not, but there you go. Right, what we doing? Boston are at the Toronto Blue Jays for a 7:07 Eastern first pitch with Garrett Crochet on the mound for the Red Sox, and Max Scherzer goes for the Blue Jays. +120 Toronto, -140 Boston behind their stud. Total here, D-Rock is 8.
Yeah, real quick, I want to clear up some things. Gio, Jason, Eli. No, this is his last show in the regular season. He's not going anywhere. He's under contract at the MLB Gambling Podcast, so he's not going anywhere. But yeah, for this game, I think this is a really good spot for the Red Sox. I love backing Crochet here on the road. 12-2 straight up on the road this year. 2.42 ERA. Barr's only hitting 2.19 off of him as well. Blue Jays, we mentioned it yesterday. They're really not hitting well coming into this series as well. Meanwhile, they're throwing Max Scherzer, who I just can't back right now. He does not look good. Just look at his last start. He couldn't even get out of his first inning. I have to fade him in this spot. I made the Red Sox a minus 155 favorite. So minus 142, it's getting up there. But yeah, I don't mind. It's a little chalky, but I'll take Boston.
Yeah, Crochet hasn't been dominant in his last few starts. He's still pitching well. Good length. 4 September starts, though, with a 4.68 ERA. Boston have won his last 6, and they do score plenty of runs. They've scored 50 runs in those last 6 starts for him. Scherzer did last 2 outs, as you mentioned, last time, in that odd 20-1 shellacking they took off the Kansas City Royals, was it? And that blow-up did seem to be coming, because Scherzer did look like he was bottoming out just a little bit. He was giving up at least 4 every start. There's a lot of overs in both pitchers' game logs here. See, Crochet not bulletproof, Boston scoring, Blue Jays scoring, and Scherzer struggling. 8 runs looks a little bit low to me, so I'll happily take it over 8 runs.
Real quick, can I give you a trivia question that just came up on my timeline?
Go on then.
Jose Ramirez of the Guardians is baseball related. He has 100 runs, 30 home runs, and 40 steals in 2025, becoming the first player in MLB history to record those numbers in back-to-back seasons. He's the 4th player ever with multiple seasons with those numbers, joining 3 other players. Do you know those 3?
Absolutely no chance. I mean, how recently are we talking? Is there anything in the last 50 years?
Yeah. So I think one is a Hall of Famer, one's still active, and then one is an ex-Yankee.
An ex-Yankee?
Yeah.
So what? A-Rod?
No. Alfonso Soriano did it twice. Barry Bonds did it twice.
Okay, yeah.
And Bobby did it 3 times.
Okay, good knowledge. I saw a load of those guys. There's a lot of players that were chasing things like a 30-30 season. They need one more home run, or they need one more ribby for a 30 home run, 100 ribby season type thing. So there's quite a lot of those. If you get into the stats that you could try and pick out here, strikeout props as well. There's a few pitchers who need sort of 3 or 4 strikeouts to reach 200. So there's definitely some betting angles in there. Jason scored 2 points.
Yeah, he was right on it.
All right, Jason. No one likes to show off. Very good. We'll move on. Underdog, great place to play fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favourite player stats. Available for tons of sports. Underdog is a brand new offer for new customers. Play $5 and get $50 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code MLB SGPN. And finally, Rhythm, off to a great start in college football and the NFL. There's a weekly leaderboard. You can track your bets, win up to $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, use promo code SGPN25. Next is, we got to go back to the top of the page. I wrote it down. 8:05 Eastern, the New York Mets are at the Chicago Cubs. It is Jonah Tong for the Mets. The Cubs will throw Matthew Boyd, left-handed pitcher. Lines are not out. Why is there no lines on this? I've seen these pitches confirmed all day. Have you got any Rockford lines on this, Dylan?
Yeah, I made the Cubs a minus 150 favorite, Mets plus 150, and I made the total 7.1. I probably would look towards an over. I mean, I think Tong, he had a nice bounce back start versus the Padres, but he's very hittable, and I think the Cubs can get to him in this spot. As for the Cubs, Matthew Boyd, He hasn't been the best either. He's given up 4+ runs in back-to-back starts. He's given up 2+ runs in 8 straight games. I think both clubs actually will be able to score here tomorrow. And we got winds blowing out, 12-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow as well. So should be a windy night in Chicago. I probably would take runs, if anything.
I completely agree with you, Dylan. I was pleased to hear you lead us off with that. Mets kind of unbettable. They've lost 11 of 15 now. Tom was good last time against the Padres. Has had 4 starts. No real consistency to pin him down one way or the other. But he has only had 1 road start, and he very much struggled with his command on that occasion. He gave up 4 earned runs, but he walked 4 batters as well. Wrigley Field doesn't look like the ideal situation for him. But as you said, Matthew Boyd has given up loads of runs too. Post All-Star break, 11 starts. He has a 3-5 record with a 4.74 ERA. So if the number is hanging around 7.5 or 8, it looks like a shootout to me. D-Rock, so I will join you in taking the over. Next up, we go back down the page to a 8:05 Eastern between the Minnesota Twins and the Texas Rangers. Taj Bradley draws the start for the Twins. The Texas Rangers will throw Jacob deGrom, and they are -212 favourites. The Twins are +175, and the total here is 7.5. We've had Taj Bradley's number for months on this show. We've successfully faded him almost every start. 6 defeats in a row. I think we've definitely faded him in all of those. He's had 5 starts now with the Twins to a 7.82 ERA. deGrom is a competitor. He will try to finish strong here, but he hasn't been great in the last quarter of the season. It's really hard to want to pick a side here. So I would rather take deGrom out of the handicap and just fade Bradley. I know Texas have been shit, but they can score a few runs here. I mean, the total's low. So I'll take a Texas team total off Taj Bradley, Dylan.
Yeah, I said this yesterday, Mal. I don't want to back either side. Both teams suck right now, and I'd rather back runs instead. I agree. My total came out to 8.3. Just look how bad Taj Bradley has been since coming to Minnesota. 3+ runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. And the Twins have lost all 5 of those games, and 4 of those 5 went over this number. So I just don't see how the Rangers don't score a few runs in this spot. And yeah, you're right. deGrom, as good of a career as he had, he really hasn't been that good this last half of the season. And he's given up 11 runs in the last 17 innings so far in September. So yeah, I think the Twins will be able to score a few runs off of him as well. So I think we see a higher scoring game. I'm going to be on the over.
Where's your lovely face gone, Dylan?
This fucking camera's piece of shit, honestly.
Fair enough. We've got another terrible entry from Nathan in the competition of why can't Americans spell the word bollocks, because he's got an A in there. There's never been an A in the word bollocks, Nathan. But welcome along. Nice to have you. Jason wants Taj Bradley walks. He's walked at least 1 in every start. So there you go. Walks for Taj Bradley. 9:38 Eastern, Kansas City Royals at the LA Angels. It's Stephen with a PH, Kolek for the Royals. Angels are TBD. I've got Yusei Kikuchi listed. No lines with the pitching situation up in the air. D-Rock, Royals at the Angels isn't the most exciting series of the week.
Yeah, no lines, but there's no way I could back Kikuchi here. He's been terrible for the last 5 games now. I know people like to back him at home and not on the road, but even at home right now, I just think it's a bad spot. And I think Stephen Kolek for the Rangers, he's been great since coming over from San Diego. Just 5 runs given up in 4 starts for him in Kansas City. So I actually made him a -115 favorite. So if we get a very favorable number here for the Royals, I probably would be on Kansas City. I can't back the Angels right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the price will be, but Kansas City would be my pick as well, blind. Kolek's been great. 6 games with no more than 1 earned run. Kikuchi was generally good at home. And his last couple of starts demonstrate that he's holding his form okay. But the Angels also in a really cold offensive stretch. 3.6 runs per game in the last 10. They're only hitting 218, and they've only scored over 4 runs twice. Kolek is very good, so he can limit the Angels here, and Kikuchi will give up a few. So KCR can eke out a win in this one. A lot more riding on this next series. 9:40 Eastern, the LA Dodgers at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Left-handed pitcher Blake Snell for the Dodgers will take on Ryan Nelson of the D-backs. Plus 135 for Arizona, minus 160 the Dodgers, and a total here of 8.5. Ohtani's another one who's got a little prop in his sights. He's 2 home runs short of setting a single season record for the LA Dodgers. So if you want some Ohtani homers to go with Judge, but Blake Snell, 13 innings over his last 2 starts, 0 earned runs in those. He saw Arizona on August the 29th, struck out 8 over 5 1/3, did give up 3 in that one. Arizona won that game 3-0, actually. Ryan Nelson's been pitching well post All-Star break, 12 starts, 2.97 ERA, which drops down to a 2.58 home ERA. 10 games in the season series between these two. This under is 6-4. I like both pitchers in this spot. I'm going to take the less obvious play. I'm going to take under 8.5 to them.
Yeah, I do like the Dodgers here, but not at this number. I worry a little bit about Blake Snell here on the road. 5.29 ERA. Barr's hitting over 300 off of him. I only made him a minus 140 favorite, so I might have to take the Snakes for 2 days in a row at this price. I mean, Arizona already has a win over him. He just gave up 5 runs to the Pirates earlier in this month. And with the way the Snakes are hitting the ball, I think they'll be able to get to Snell. They're great against lefties. And you mentioned it, Ryan Nelson has been great at home for them. 5-1 straight up, 2.58 ERA. And in 2 starts versus the Dodgers, he's only given up 1 run and 1 walk. If the Dodgers continue to take in some money on this game, which they probably will, I'll probably be on the home dog again. I have to be on Arizona.
Okay, fair enough. We can still both win. Yeah. Arizona can win a close, a low-scoring game there. 9:40 Eastern, the Colorado Rockies at the Seattle Mariners. Tanner Gordon confirmed for the Rockies. Seattle, I saw Luis Castillo earlier on, now TBD. No lines on this one. I think we handicapped Gordon last night. I don't know who would have to be on the mound in this series for us not to want to take a Seattle run line, Dylan. It's quite uninspiring in terms of trying to find an imaginative angle in.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think I thought I saw Luis Castillo. Now I'm just double checking because you mentioned TBD, and yeah, now the name is off the board. So yeah, I don't really know about that. I probably would take Seattle on the run line as well. I mean, we can't back Tanner Gordon in this spot. I know he had that one good start, I think 2 starts ago, but outside of that, you can't back him on the road. Seattle's been a wagon here, especially at home. So maybe a Seattle Mariner team total over I would look at. But, yeah, I want no parts in the Rockies here tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right, Dylan. Gordon has shown the odd decent start, but he's got a 7.40 road ERA in 5 starts. His whip is over 150. Castillo's been rock solid in his last 3, 18 innings, only 2 earned runs. 16 home starts for Castillo, a 2.71 ERA. Since the All-Star break, Seattle are averaging 5.2 runs per game at home. They are 14-3 at home in that span straight up. Just all points to Seattle, run line, team total, that kind of thing. The penultimate game on tonight's show features the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. Sonny Gray takes on Robbie Ray. That's good. Left-handed pitcher for the Giants. Minus 131, the Giants. Plus 110, the Cards. D-Rock, the total is 7.5.
Yeah, I probably would take the Giants here at home, minus 124, but the over 7.5, I think I like a little more. My numbers made the Giants a minus 140 favorite and my total 7.8. I just can't back Sonny Gray here on the road. At home, yeah, at times I can, but not on the road. He just faced this Giants team a few starts ago. And even though the Cardinals won the game, I didn't think he really pitched all that well. And yeah, Robbie Ray might be the better pitcher, but he hasn't looked good in the month of September either. Back-to-back starts, he's given up 5 runs. He's given up 2+ runs in 6 straight games. Cardinals hit lefties pretty well. I think there's a chance for like a back and forth, high chaotic scoring game. So I probably would take the over, lean San Francisco, but I like the over instead.
I am.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I pressed some buttons and all sorts of pop-ups and things happened. But because I'm very IT literate, Dylan, I've saved it because I'm good at that. I quite like the Cardinals here. This is the second game I've mentioned earlier on. I would very much like to see what happens in tonight's game before I bet this, because if the Giants don't get the win behind Logan Webb tonight, it could absolutely fall apart for them. It would be a very bad spot, and I would expect a drop-off if they lose. They're just not in good form. They've lost 8 of 10 now. Sonny Gray pitched back-to-back against the Brewers. He's had a good season, really, on a poor team. He's 14-8, 123. Whip is a good number for him. And Robbie Ray's just been flat-out poor lately. 5-5, 2-4, and 6 earned runs in his last 5. The Dodgers lit him up last twice. And whilst the Cardinals aren't the Dodgers, they did show on Monday night that they're still putting a shift in. They were one of the 3 teams that emerged victorious on Monday night. So they're still capable of putting a little rally together. Right now, I would take St. Louis at plus 110. And if the Giants lose tonight, I think I would probably double down on that play. Final game on the board. Final regular season handicap for me. Oh, I'm going to cry. 10:05 Eastern. The Houston Astros at the Athletics. Hunter Brown will take on JT Ginn. Although both are officially TBD. Anyone could pitch in this tomorrow. I've got Brown v. Ginn. No lines on this. Do you have those 2 pictures, D-Rock, at all?
Yeah, I think it might be Hunter Brown and JT Ginn. No lines, but I did make the Astros a minus 150 favorite. JT Ginn is not good, especially at home for the A's. Almost a 6 ERA at home for the Athletics. I'm not allowing his last 3 starts, to kind of stray my mind away from how bad he actually is. Hunter Brown is one of the best pitchers in baseball, so I think he'll be able to reel this in. They need this game. They need to get back on track. They need to start winning if they're going to want to get into the playoffs. So I'll probably take Astros up to a minus 150, but yeah, that's all I got.
I wanted to see some lines on this. What was your total, Dylan? What did you work out?
Yeah, so like I said, minus 150 for the Astros. Total came out to 9.1.
Because I took the under in this for the Tuesday night game. The total was high, it was 10.5. And I like that again here. It's kind of counterintuitive to take a low-scoring game. Houston is still missing Alvarez. They've got no Josh Hader. They might get Pena back this week. Brown's been solid. 9 starts in a row without giving up over 2 earned runs. Tons of unders. 9 of his last 10 games have gone under. JT Ginn, I think, is better than you think. Very similar line. Not great length, but pitching well. 4 1/3 scoreless in a 3-0 win against Cincinnati 2 starts ago. Won as a dog in Boston last week, which was one of my picks in our little 3-day contest. And I took the A's that night. 3 appearances for Houston this year. 10 2/3. Only 2 earned runs. So, yeah, I'm going to take the total. I think the total was too high for the Tuesday game. I obviously haven't seen it, but it'll be maybe 9 with the presence of Brown rather than Javier. I'm going to take a second consecutive under in the series between Houston and the Athletics. And D-Rock, that is me done for 2025, apart from a lock and a dog and a home run play. I mean, obviously, I'm being a bit dramatic about this. I'm going to be back on Sunday or Monday for the playoffs, Anna. So nothing's changed, really. It's my turn to lead off, Dylan, because you went first last night and stole all the good picks as well. I'm going to lock up. Oh, man. We've got to take the Brewers, haven't we? We've got to go for 20 in a row. We're going to 20. It's like Moneyball. We're going to 20, D-Rock. I'll take... hang on, though. I don't want to jinx him. I don't want to mush him. I feel like I might change my mind now. Right, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Baltimore against the Rays. I prefer Wells over Baz's recent form. I prefer Baltimore over Tampa Bay's recent form. Baltimore with home advantage. So Baltimore minus 110. And they get Adley Rutschman back to underdog. I'm going to go to St. Louis at the Giants. I prefer Gray's recent form over Ray. And I do think Giants have just stopped playing well. As much as they're still in a playoff race, they're not doing anything to get in there. Like I say, lost 8 out of 10. Cardinals are still having a little go. So I'll take the Cardinals as a plus 110 underdog at the Giants, D-Rock.
Not gonna lie, you took my lock. I was gonna take Baltimore here. Where do I go now? Let's stay with the red hot Cleveland Guardians. I'll take Tanner Bybee. We'll fade Jack Flaherty here at home. Inconsistent. Do not want to back him here. Minus 120, I think, is a very fair price. So I'll take Cleveland to keep it rolling with Tanner Bybee. As for my dog, I don't feel like I gave out a lot of dogs. I really want to get a plus 140 because that's where my number is at with the Snakes. Right now, I see a plus 135. Hopefully, it moves 5 cents in my direction, but I'll take the Snakes again. I just worry about Blake Snell on the road. If the Pirates could get 5 runs off of him, what do you think Arizona is going to do against him? So, they're fighting for a playoff spot right now. I think they might get in as well. I think they have a good shot over Cincinnati as well if they keep winning the way they are. So we'll see how these next 6 games go starting tonight. But I'm going to take Arizona as my dog plus 135.
Okay, fair enough. I've already picked my home run play. Jacob deGrom has been struggling to keep the ball in the yard recently, which leads us to a Minnesota Twin. Not generally a good idea to take Minnesota Twins offense to do stuff. But I'm going to have a little go at Royce Lewis here. Royce Lewis can finish the season for me with a winner by going yard off Jacob deGrom. D-Rock, are you going to take Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, or George Springer? Which one of your 3 guys are you going for?
No, I'm going to throw you a little curveball here. I'm going to take the home run leader, Cal Raleigh, to get number 6.
Wow, mate. You've got right out on a limb there. Fucking hell.
Tanner Gordon stinks. He's going to get 59. He's going to get 59. Yeah, give me Cal Raleigh. By the way, how many are you back for Pete Alonso? He's like second, right?
He's 6, I think. I'm not out of it.
Yeah, you got 6 games to go.
Yeah, it needs that one. It's that one stupid game where fucking Schwarber hit. Did he hit 4 home runs?
Yeah.
6, right, 7 behind.
Yeah, that's not terrible. That game's going to cost you that ticket.
Yeah. 1-2-9 plays 1-2-2. Then Raleigh's on 1-2-1. Then it drops off. So there's only 3 people in the race. What I need to wake up and see a 27-2, where the opposition have thrown loads of position players, and Pete Alonso's held himself to 12 ribbies. We're still live. I wouldn't mind going into the last night just to 1 grand slam behind. We're not on a grand slam. That'd be good. Sure. Right, Neon's asking me here, Mal, did you ever watch Jeremy Brett in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes on Granada Television? What an incredible niche. I remember Granada Television. That was like a local sort of Yorkshire thing here. But no, I don't remember that at all, Keon. I'll have a look. Well, Sherlock Holmes is. I've never heard of Jeremy Brett. Granada Television was very, very British. But that was like 1970s. So either Keon's aging himself or he thinks I'm older than I am, which is entirely possible. I'll have a little, I'll have a Google of him, Keon, and we can discuss it next week when we're talking playoffs. Thanks, Dylan. That was fun, as always. Some combination of Scott, Dylan, and Lonte will see out the regular season over the next 3 or 4 nights here. And then we'll be back on Sunday and Monday with an entire playoff preview series. We'll then individually do the wild card series and the games and all of that stuff. Nathan and Keon and Gio and Eli, and at the top of the show, Adrian, who were all in the chat. Nice to have all of you. Cheers, D-Rock. Good luck with all your bets, everybody. and we'll see you down the road. Cheers.